Finally, we don't need to listen to Amber Cox speculate about her health. We don't need to listen to Stephanie White speculate about her health. Straight from the horse's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark reveals she is 100% healthy, good to go, ready to go, back in action.
Straight from the horse's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark reveals she is 100% healthy, good to go, ready to go, back in action. And where does she choose to make her grand return? Not a WNBA practice facility, not some promotional event for the league that made her a household name. No, Caitlin Clark walked onto a golf course, picked up a club, and in one afternoon, she accidentally exposed the biggest difference between two professional sports leagues, one that celebrates her and one that seems terrified of her shine. Here's what nobody's talking about. While the WNBA spent the entire 2024 season debating whether Caitlin Clark deserved the attention she was getting, the LPGA rolled out an actual red carpet, primetime coverage, paired her with world number 1 Nelly Korda and 10-time LPGA legend Annika Sorenstam, turned a Wednesday Pro-Am into a sold-out spectacle that generated 34 million social media impressions in 7 days. The commissioner called her a once-in-a-generation crossover star. Golf pros lined up after their rounds just to meet her. Fans in Indiana Fever jerseys drove from multiple states to watch her practice swing. Let's be clear about what we're watching here. This isn't just a feel-good story about an athlete trying a different sport. This is a masterclass in how to treat a superstar, and it's making the WNBA look absolutely foolish. If you believe the story behind the story matters, hit that like button right now. It tells us we're on the right track. Many of you have been saying this for weeks. The way Caitlin gets treated in her own league versus how she's celebrated everywhere else, the contrast is becoming impossible to ignore. And this golf tournament just put it on national television for everyone to see. So, what actually happened at Pelican Golf Club? The Annika, driven by Gainbridge Pro-Am, wasn't supposed to be a major storyline. It's a celebrity event, a warm-up round before the actual LPGA tournament starts. But the moment Caitlin Clark's name was announced, everything changed. Ticket sales didn't just increase. They multiplied 12 times over compared to previous years. The golf course's chief operating officer said it himself. This became one of the most talked about women's golf tournaments ever. Not because of the golf legends playing, because of a basketball player who showed up to swing a club. Let's filter out the noise and look at what the LPGA actually did. They didn't just invite Caitlin. They built an entire media campaign around her appearance, national broadcast coverage on Golf Channel, real-time updates on social media. Every shot she hit was tracked like she was Tiger Woods at the Masters. When she stepped up to that practice range, cameras were already positioned. Crowds were 3 deep behind the ropes. The energy wasn't casual, it was electric. And here's where it gets interesting. The LPGA didn't treat this like a gimmick. They paired her with actual champions. Nelly Korda, the current world number 1, played 9 holes with Caitlin. Then Annika Sorenstam, a woman with 72 LPGA wins and 10 majors, played the back 9 with her. These aren't novelty pairings. These are statement pairings. The LPGA was saying, we take Caitlin Clark seriously. She belongs in this space.
Caitlin Clark is back golfing. She is back golfing for the first time in I don't know how long. But she's golfing. She's, yeah. That's a positive thing. It's the Annika tournament, which she played in last year. But this year is a little bit different. So let's take a look at all the clips from this so far. Jesus, it's pretty packed with her just on the practice range. Better swing than mine anyway.
The golf itself? Let's talk about that. Because this is where the doubters got real quiet. Caitlin showed up in a full Nike golf outfit, custom clubs, her own bag, no rental set, no borrowed gear. She looked like someone who had been preparing for this moment. And when the cameras started rolling, her swing wasn't a basketball player messing around. It was smooth, balanced, controlled. Golf commentators were genuinely impressed. By the time she reached the 18th hole, wind blowing 14 miles an hour in her face, most celebrity guests would just be happy to avoid embarrassment. Caitlin stepped up to a long sliding putt with thousands of people watching, and she drained it. The crowd erupted. The announcers lost their minds. This wasn't a sympathy cheer. This was a real golf moment, and it went viral immediately. But if you think that putt was the story, you're missing the bigger picture. That putt was just the proof. The real story is what happened around it. While Caitlin was calmly executing under pressure, her teammate Sophie Cunningham was out there providing the chaos. Sophie grabbed a club, went full Happy Gilmore with a running start, took a wild swing, and apparently a spectator went down. The internet exploded. People argued in the comments about whether the fan was really hit or just selling it for a hug from Sophie. It was hilarious. It was pure content, and it proved something important. Sophie is great for viral moments. She's personality and drama. But Caitlin is something completely different. She's not viral because she's loud. She's viral because she's dangerous in any arena you put her in. That's the difference. That's what the LPGA recognized immediately. You were onto something when you noticed how different sports media treats Caitlin. Golf analysts were talking about her like a legitimate athlete with crossover potential. They weren't questioning whether she deserved to be there. They weren't debating whether other golfers resented the attention she was getting. They were celebrating her, building her up, making her the centerpiece of their coverage. And then Bryson DeChambeau enters the story. After watching Caitlin's performance, Bryson didn't just compliment her golf game. He extended an invitation. He wants her to play in his Internet Invitational in 2026. Now at first that might sound like just another fun side event. It's not. Bryson's golf content pulls massive numbers. We're talking 2 million views, 3 million views, 5 million views per video. His events are content machines. And he wants Caitlin in that world. Think about what that means. A major golf figure is actively recruiting a basketball player to be part of his platform because he understands what apparently escapes the WNBA. Caitlin Clark doesn't just bring fans. She brings an entirely new audience. She's a bridge between sports, between demographics, between casual viewers and die-hard fans. The LPGA understood this instantly. They didn't see Caitlin as competition for their established stars. They saw her as an opportunity, a chance to introduce millions of basketball fans to women's golf, a chance to prove that women's sports could coexist, support each other, and grow together. And here's where the story gets uncomfortable for the WNBA. Let's drop the midpoint CTA right here. If you're connecting these dots with us, drop a comment telling us what you think the LPGA did right, that the WNBA keeps getting wrong, because this conversation matters. Now let's talk numbers. Because the LPGA didn't just say nice things about Caitlin Clark, they backed it up with action. When she appeared at last year's Annika Pro-Am, attendance spiked. This year, complete madness. Crowds in Iowa jerseys lined the fairways chanting her name like it was March Madness. The social media numbers tell the story. 34 million impressions in 1 week for a Wednesday practice round at a golf tournament. Those are Super Bowl level engagement metrics for an event that would normally fly completely under the radar. The LPGA commissioner didn't hide from this. She leaned into it. She publicly called Caitlin a once-in-a-generation crossover star who brings incredible energy wherever she goes. Read that again. A once-in-a-generation crossover star, that's not corporate speak. That's recognition. That's celebration. That's exactly what athletes need to hear from their league leadership. Compare that to the WNBA's messaging. Multiple sources are whispering about behind the scenes. Tension regarding Caitlin's media coverage. Players questioning why she gets so much attention. Coaches making subtle digs about rookie treatment. The league itself seems paralyzed between wanting her star power for ratings and worrying about upsetting veteran players who feel overlooked. No, it seems like whatever Caitlin Clark puts her mind to do, she can accomplish about anything. At least when it comes to two things, golfing and basketball. I mean, she's a natural athlete, let's be honest. And today was the Annika Pro-Am, and there's a lot of content that's come out of that. The golf pros themselves told the real story. Nelly Korda said it was like playing with a friend. She's relaxed, confident, and just really enjoying herself. Annika Sorenstam added, she's super mature for 22, handles herself so well, and says the right things. She brought energy and fun to our event. These are legends of the sport, and they're not just tolerating Caitlin's presence. They're genuinely excited about it. Caitlin Clark is back golfing. She is back golfing for the first time in I don't know how long, but she's golfing. Yeah, that's a positive thing. It's the Annika tournament, which she played in last year, but this year's a little bit different. When was the last time you heard WNBA veterans talk about Caitlin like that publicly, with genuine warmth and excitement? The contrast is devastating. While LPGA players rushed to meet her after their rounds, eager to take photos and share the moment, WNBA players spent the season delivering hard fouls and dismissive comments about rookie hype. Let's connect the dots. Caitlin Clark increased WNBA attendance by over 300%. She boosted national television viewership by double digits. She became the league's top jersey seller, and she earned $78,000 a year. Meanwhile, the LPGA saw her value immediately and structured an entire event to maximize her impact. They gave her primetime broadcast coverage. They promoted her in every highlight package. They let her be the headline without apology.
Here is Caitlin at the 10th.
Yeah. Looks like she was able to put into work a little bit of what Jamie was telling her. Release that.
We got Caitlin Clark walking down to the 18th hole. Wind blowing 14 miles an hour out of the northeast. A beautiful sunny day. This putt is unbelievable. Look at this freaking putt. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Caitlin Clark's got real talent, folks.
Better swing than mine anyway. Here is Caitlin at the 18th. Yeah, it looks like she was able to put into work a little bit of what Jamie was telling her. We got Caitlin Clark walking down to the 18th hole, wind blowing 14 miles an hour out of the northeast. A beautiful sunny day. This putt is unbelievable. Look at this freaking putt. Wow, wow, unbelievable. Caitlin Clark's got real talent, Spade folks. That moment right there became the visual metaphor for everything we're discussing. Caitlin under pressure, cameras rolling, thousands watching, and she delivers no drama, no excuses, just executions. And the response from the golf world was pure celebration. No jealousy, no resentment, just recognition of excellence. Reading between the lines reveals something even bigger. Athletes from other sports noticed. Tiger Woods praised her impact on women's basketball. LeBron James called her special. Chris Evert, the tennis legend, said the WNBA should appreciate her for what she is, the best thing that's ever happened to women's basketball. Even Paige Spiranac, the golf influencer, went viral calling out the hate Caitlin receives from some WNBA players. Women can be vicious while preaching empowerment, she tweeted. The LPGA gets it. They're letting her shine. This is the turning point moment. We're watching in real time as another league demonstrates exactly how to build a superstar. Respect, visibility, value, celebration. The LPGA gave Caitlin cameras, prime coverage, and gratitude. The WNBA gave her bruises, backlash, and silence. That's not opinion, that's documented reality. And the beautiful irony. Caitlin never asked for special treatment. She shows up humble, calm, focused. She does her job. She lets her performance speak, and the world follows her anyway. Because fans don't fall in love with leagues, they fall in love with people. The LPGA understood this instantly. The WNBA is still trying to manage it. As Caitlin stepped onto those Pelican fairways, surrounded by thousands of cheering fans. She didn't look like someone fighting for validation. She looked like someone who had already won. No controversy, just respect. It was the perfect visual for a basketball star, outshining pros in a completely different sport. Not because she demanded it, but because she earned it. Analysts are calling this a marketing masterclass, a win for women's sports that the WNBA could have owned if it had embraced her sooner. And maybe that's the real revelation. Not the difference in pay, but the difference in respect. The LPGA didn't try to control Caitlin. They trusted her star power. And it worked beyond their wildest projections. Before we wrap, if you want to see how this story develops, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because we're tracking every move as Caitlin continues rewriting what's possible for women athletes. And we'll be here covering the leagues that celebrate her and the ones that fumble the opportunity. Drop Team Clark in the comments if you're riding with the movement. In one weekend, a golf tournament showed the world what real support looks like. Caitlin Clark didn't call anyone out. She didn't demand headlines. She simply proved what happens when greatness is appreciated instead of controlled. The LPGA rolled out the red carpet. The WNBA needs to take notes. We'll see you in the next one.